Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a podcast. I'm Zach Berman.
Caleb Berman.
I ran out of adjectives.
All right.
It's just a podcast. So I was thinking a lot about the Marvel movies.
Right.
All of them.
I think about them a lot.
With the different companies owning them. And I thought, hey, guess what? They could easily, by the time 2000 whatever comes around, like 17, whenever the third Avengers comes out, settle all their differences and allow just for one movie every character.
You have two Quicksilvers in one movie. That'd be pretty cool, actually.
I pointed at him, sorry. But here's my idea, though.
Visual gags on this podcast because they don't even know.
We've got Thanos, right? And he has the dingle-dang.
Infinity
Gauntlet. And he's got
all the Infinity Gems.
What's one of them? Reality.
I was about to list all of them. But yes, Reality Gem.
What are all of them? Let's see if you can do it.
All I know is Time and Reality, I think.
Then why were you going to name all of them?
I thought I could. Do it.
You didn't think I'd put you on the spot?
No. There's like a power gem, isn't there?
Yeah, I think so. Wisdom.
There's one that lets him travel throughout space really fast. Time lets him travel through time, obviously. Reality lets him jump between realities, but there's one that lets him travel all throughout space really fast. Okay. I don't know what that one's called.
Key one, though, Caleb. Reality Gem.
Right.
All right, because it barely works in the comics, having the X-Men in the same universe as the other superheroes, because it doesn't make any sense.
That's a rant for another time, because that kind of bothers me a lot. X-Men work in their own movies, but I don't think they work in the context of an entire universe.
Because everybody's cool with Spider-Man.
Yeah,
but the second you're a mutant, then you're bad.
Like, Spider-Man is a mutant. He was bit by a radioactive spider, and it mutated him. The only difference is he was mutated, and the X-Men were born that way.
Like Lady Gaga.
Yeah. But why are they discriminated against? And people like Spider-Man and Captain America and what have you, they're totally cool.
Well, I have an answer for that, Caleb. Different realities. Mm-hmm. So my idea is a big movie. It's one movie, but it's 3 movies. Or 2 movies. Either way. Like Harry Potter, or Twilight, or Kill Bill.
Alright.
Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Things that are one movie, but multiple movies, if you know what I'm saying. But basically, Thanos is trying to get in their heads and mess with them. And Tony Stark's biggest thing is he's so into himself. You know, everything, like he's better than everybody else, that sort of thing. So he can, using the reality gem, he tears open a window to other realities. And he's like, guess what, Mr. Stark? Here's a reality where your dad never started Stark Industries. It was somebody else. Guess who it was? Norman Osborn.
Who started what?
See, it wasn't Howard Stark who was the big technology science guy.
Oh, okay.
It was Norman Osborn instead.
Wouldn't be Stark Industries.
So that's how we tie into Spider-Man.
Wait, hang on. Here's something I want. 2 Spider-Man in one movie. We've got Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire. 2 different realities with 2 different Spider-Men merging in this. I want that.
Well, I don't know how that would work.
Because I want Willem Dafoe, Norman Osborn.
Ah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Because Willem Dafoe is rad. I mean...
Well, basically, I'll finish my thing, and then we can discuss it.
Okay.
And then he'll look at, what's his face? Bruce Banner, who feels like an outcast, you know? Because he's a monster. And he's like, and here's a universe where every hero is considered a monster. X-Men.
Yeah.
So they see that.
I bet he would get along well with the X-Men.
Because that's a good way for Thanos to screw with them. Because Thanos screws with people sometimes. Because he's sadistic and kind of creepy.
You can't call this movie Avengers, really.
Well, no. I'm not saying bring in a bunch of Spider-Man guys and a bunch of X-Men. No, I'm saying bring Spider-Man, bring Wolverine. Because those are the most popular and, let's face it, the coolest.
Yeah, but...
So basically that. But then they... So later on, my idea is the end of the first movie, they managed to take the reality gem. And they're like, we need to go get some of these other heroes because this guy, he's too much for us to handle.
So they get Spider-Man to help fight in
that's
interdimensional being.
That's all they've seen. They just know that there's these two other universes at least that have these other people in. Mm-hmm. And by this time, they could even pull the Fantastic Four in if that movie's any good.
I'm interested for that. I think it could be interesting.
Because that was also radiation. Mm-hmm. So that also relates to Hulk. Anyway, so they go and they manage to break off that gem from his gauntlet. They take it. And two of the Avengers, I'd say, the Avengers then split up. Because by this time, we're going to have a lot of Avengers. Because they keep adding them. Mm-hmm. So they split up. Some of them go into Spider-Man world. Some of them go into X-Men world. But they can only manage to get out one of each. So they don't pull any... Or maybe they accidentally pull in one of the villains from Spider-Man, just for fun. But they get Spider-Man in, they get Wolverine in.
That'd be cool, I guess.
Wouldn't it be dope? Mm-hmm. And it would work. Because it would make sense. They wouldn't have to... because they could have still done Spider-Man.
I heard there are negotiations.
But it wouldn't make much sense. Unless they mention...
It's two different New Yorks.
Yeah. Well, because they could have in the first one, all you had to say was it was before that happened.
I mean, it's still
but
possible
now
that
there's two of them.
It's still possible that they could drop a line somewhere and I would buy it. But it's like, the Battle of New York is such a big deal in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the fact that it's just not a thing in the Spider-Man movies makes it, impossible for me.
Yeah, like I'm saying, in the first movie, all they had to say was that happened before it. Mm-hmm. But now there's another one coming out. And, yeah, so...
Well, we'll have to watch it and see if there's a line in there.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too, but I don't know.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
Personally, and I may get some heat for this, I don't think Spider-Man should be in the Avengers. I just think he works better on his own.
I don't think he should be a main character. It'd be cool if he showed up.
Did you hear about the Sinister Six movie?
Like they're getting their own movie?
It's not, yeah, exactly. It's not Amazing Spider-Man 3 and the villains of the Sinister Six. It is like Sinister Six, the movie. Yeah. That's pretty much my reaction.
Where's the conflict going to be?
No idea. I have no clue.
How do you make a movie with just the villains?
Don't know.
Not even one villain.
I don't know.
Because they're going to do a Venom movie too. They're still talking about doing that.
I have no idea.
Who should they get as Venom now?
I don't know. Somebody big. Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum, I could see that.
You know, Channing Tatum really wants to be Gambit. Like, real bad. Like,
nah, the guy they got in...
Yeah, in Origins is perfect. As much as I hate that movie. But I really don't want Channing Tatum to be Gambit. I just don't think it works.
He could do that. Let's see. I'm trying to think of somebody else who would be really good as Venom. The Rock.
No.
Nah, he's not scary enough.
He's also old.
Don't talk shit about The Rock, Caleb.
Sorry, I'm eating a candy bar. When I picked it up, I thought it was a Snickers. And then I bit into it, and I was really sad because it didn't crunch.
Statham.
It's a Milky Way.
Jason Statham.
If people are old, stop picking old people.
I would have said Paul Walker, but he's dead.
Yes, he's a dead person. Also, I don't think that would work. I want somebody big. I want somebody beefy.
Matt Damon. Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck. He's the answer to everything.
He's old, too.
Everybody's old.
I want somebody kind of young and pretty buff. Not freaking, what's his name from the 70s show?
He was good, though.
He was alright.
Like, that movie gets a lot of hate. It's not as bad as everybody says.
It really is.
It's really not, Caleb.
It really is.
If it would have been like a standalone thing, it wouldn't have been as bad.
I used to like to watch it because it's fun to watch.
Actually, doesn't the Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes score higher than the new Spider-Man?
I don't know. I haven't checked. But My friend made me watch it pretty recently, Spider-Man 3, and just so many things in this make me so mad. I can't even get through it. It makes me angry, like on a personal level.
Well, you have to watch it as his own thing, and it's not as bad. I mean, Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire's pretty cool. Kirsten Dunst is terrible. James Franco has never done a bad thing in his life, except for those few movies that were terrible.
There's Kirsten Dunst, who's terrible. There's the scene where he's like dancing through the streets. There's the scene where he's dancing in the bar.
I like those parts. It's fun.
There's Venom thrown in at the end. There's Venom being a bitch.
Well, the whole movie was basically just Sam Raimi saying,
There's
fuck
the Sandman just shoehorned in there for no reason.
And he was so good in the movie. They should have focused just on him.
But they didn't. He's just thrown in there.
You know what they should have done? They should have done no black suit Spider-Man. And done Sandman, New Goblin.
It kind of looks dumb. New Goblin looks dumb.
I thought it was cool. I mean, he had a weird, like, Bane thing on his face, but...
He has that Winter Soldier mask. Well, actually, Winter Soldier has the New Goblin mask because the Winter Soldier doesn't wear that mask in the comics.
It would have been cool if everything was the same. Like, I'm gesturing again, aren't I?
Yes. You want the Goblin armor? The Power Rangers suit?
What he was wearing in the movie. Where it was sort of the Goblin armor, but it was also more of, like, a military-looking sort of thing.
I want the comics.
He doesn't need a mask. It's no surprise who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who else would be riding around on a
Maybe
Goblin
it's
glider?
To protect him from anything that's going to hit him in the face, or so that the wind doesn't...
It didn't work, did it, Caleb?
No, because he took it off, like, right away.
Protect him from things in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it clearly didn't work.
Or yeah, he got blowed up.
That was the cool part. When he throws it at him, he's like...
I will give it this. That scene where Peter shows up at his house, no mask, no nothing, and they duke it out, and then he grenades him in the face. That scene is freaking rad. Like, that scene is awesome.
There's so much right about the movie, but there's infinitely more wrong. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of the times they get the black suit thing right. Like that scene. The scene where Eddie Brock keeps taking pictures, and he, like, Spider-Man, like, pushes him up against the...
Oh, yeah. When he photoshops that picture to make Spider-Man look bad.
Yeah. And
then it shows the real picture, and the real picture looks infinitely more photoshopped than the allegedly photoshopped one.
Yeah, I see what they were trying to do with Eddie Brock in that movie, though. With Topher Grace. They were trying to make somebody who is just like Peter Parker, but a dick. And then Peter Parker becomes even more of a dick.
Yeah, I really dug that movie when it came out. It was one of the first movies I saw in the theater more than once. Wait, that's not true. You know what the first movie I saw in the theater more than once was?
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 is dope.
I think that was the first superhero movie I saw in theaters. And it was the first movie I saw in theaters more than once.
Oh, it's so good. I really want to watch it.
It's amazing, yeah.
Speaking of 2, you have Superman 2, right?
Yeah.
Both versions?
Seen it like a million times, yeah.
I want to watch that.
Superman 2 is pretty good. The Richard Lester version is just weird.
Yeah, you have the Donner cut, right?
Yeah, I have both versions. For those of you who don't understand, this is going to turn into a lengthy story. Richard Donner directed the first Superman movie, and they were filming Superman 1 and Superman 2 at the same time. And partway through production, he was not getting along with the producers, so they fired him and they replaced him. They let him finish filming all the scenes for Superman 1 and they replaced him with a new director. So Superman 1 came out completely directed by Richard Donner, and then they got a new director named Richard Lester who finished Superman 2. So it's like half Richard Lester, half Richard Donner, and you can really tell whose scenes are whose.
Who did the cellophane as?
Richard Lester. Any ridiculous scene in the movie, you're like, that's Lester. Like the part where he rips this S off his chest and throws it at the guy, the cellophane S, Lester. The telekinetic beams of light where they can move things with their whatever, that's Richard Lester. So then, and like they threw out a bunch of scenes that Donner shot and they reshot them. So in 2006, before Superman Returns came out, they released Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, where they went in and remastered all the scenes he shot and reworked the movie to get it as close to his version of the movie as it would have been as possible. There's still some of the lame stuff in there because they have to fill in the gaps so the plot makes sense because there's some things that he didn't get to shoot. But the Donner cut is a much less bizarre version of the movie. But they're both good.
It's weird because the original is still considered really, really good.
Yeah, but there's some...
I've never seen the Donner cut. I've seen the different scenes, but I've never seen it start to finish.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good. It's good. Oh, and another thing that's really different about the Donner cut and the regular cut is they didn't want to have to pay Marlon Brando again for the second one, so they cut all his scenes in the second one. Marlon Brando plays Jor-El, Superman's father, by the way.
He was the godfather of anybody.
Yeah, so they cut all his scenes from Superman 2 and replaced it with his mother. And in the Donner cut, it's Marlon Brando's back in it, with a bunch of scenes that nobody's ever seen before. I mean, obviously, before the release.
Oh, cool.
So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't remember too much about that movie. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah, it's really good.
I watched the first one recently.
Probably one of my favorite movies of all time. It's the original Superman. Don't you say it doesn't age well?
No, I'd say it...
I mean, it doesn't, but I still love it.
No, it does, with a little asterisk. Like 70%. Mm-hmm. It like 70% holds up. Oh my god.
The ending is pretty terrible. And that also goes back to when they fired Richard Donner and replaced him with Richard Lester because they made him change the ending. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Superman the movie, the ending is there's this big natural disaster and he's going around saving people, and while that's happening, Lois Lane dies. She falls in the sinkhole and suffocates in her car. And he doesn't... It's pretty freaking brutal for 1978. It really, really is.
But I remember what happens next, and it's fantastic.
So Superman goes and he freaks out because he couldn't save Lois Lane. So what Superman does is he flies around the Earth backwards really, really, really fast, reverses the rotation of the Earth, and turns back time. And he goes back and saves Lois. Now, here's where the problem arises. If he goes back in time through whatever means that doesn't make any sense and saves Lois Lane, what is happening to all those people that he saved from that natural disaster that was occurring earlier? Are there two Supermans flying around? One saving Lois and one saving all those people?
It's a split timeline.
Or is he just allowing all those people to die? Now, that's there because that was not supposed to be the original ending of Superman 1. The original ending was he gets the missile that causes the nuclear disaster, that causes the natural disaster, and it's not natural if it's caused by a missile, but okay, so whatever. So he gets the missile that caused the disaster, and he throws it up into space, and it explodes and breaks the Phantom Zone, and the criminals come out, Zod and all them, and it leads it's a cliffhanger that leads directly into Superman 2. But that's not what ended up happening because they made him change it.
Well,
The time travel thing was supposed to be at the end of Superman 2. And if they weren't sure they were going to get to make Superman 2, they figured it was the coolest visual bit of him flying around the Earth, so they made him put it in Superman 1. I know a lot about the Superman movie, so I'm just kind of rambling on about all this stuff.
Anyway, so...
Did you have
It's a split timeline.
Okay.
Do you know the original title of the movie? Or Superman Days of Future Past.
You're so full of it.
How did we get into Superman?
You asked me if I saw Superman 2. If I have Superman 2.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah.
Let me borrow that shit.
All right, yeah. I have the whole special edition box set that comes in the tin case.
Okay, well, we're on the topic of Superman. I'm sure you've seen Man of Steel enough times to remember pretty much everything.
That's true, yeah.
Okay, so... I was watching a video the other day. I'm going to show it to you because it's fantastic. But... I recall the part where they're fighting in Smallville and he tells a guy to go into the IHOP or something.
To the IHOP specifically?
Or he says go in there.
Right before the fight starts, he's walking through the streets and he says, "Get inside, it's not safe."
Yeah, and then what's he do?
Flies through buildings and shit.
Yeah, he kills all the people that he tried to save them. It's the one guy he tries to save in the whole movie.
In Smallville, in the Battle of Smallville, they don't really fly through a whole lot of buildings.
7-Eleven, Sears.
They fly through the 7-Eleven, but
IHOP.
he just kind of goes straight through the 7-Eleven, and
There's a part where he throws somebody into a building.
yeah,
That's intentional.
they throw a whole train into a building. He didn't throw the train.
Well, he threw the guy.
The big dude
And,
did, and they fly through the IHOP and fight in the IHOP. But it shows you clearly that nobody in there got hurt.
Did it?
Yeah, I mean, all those people were like, "Oh, whoa, wow," and they got the hell out of there.
Huh. That really wasn't going anywhere.
Most of the buildings they fly into, you can see, are pretty much empty because people got out.
Either that or it's just...
But then at the end, when he's flying through buildings in Metropolis and things are just falling into the streets and
they
shit,
go into
there's
space.
no excuse for that.
They go into space. They could have duked it out in space.
Yeah. Well, like, okay, here's the thing. Back to Superman 2. Superman 2, there's a very short fight scene where he's fighting Zod and his cronies, Ursa and Non, in the city, in the streets of Metropolis. And they're fighting, and there's people all around in danger, and Superman decides, I'm not doing this shit. I'm not going to put people in danger. He literally flies off to the Arctic, and Zod follows him. And everyone's like, oh, Superman's such a bitch, he's running away from a fight. But really all he wanted was to make sure that all these people were out of danger. You don't get that in Man of Steel. And Man of Steel, he's just like, I don't give a shit, we're duking it out right here. I don't care how many people die. This is where we're doing it, because I'm too lazy to fly out to space or fly off to the Fortress of Solitude or whatever.
Well, they fly into space, that's the thing.
Right. But then they just
It
they
takes
go
him,
back
like,
down.
bam, he's in space.
Right. But
He's faster than a speeding
in
bullet,
Superman
Caleb.
2, you really get the sense that he's putting other people's safety above whatever else. But in Man of Steel, you don't get that. And it's like, did you guys not watch the other Superman movies? He doesn't want people to die. I mean, that's his thing.
But yeah, so there's that. And
then the part right before he breaks Zod's neck, spoiler alert, I mean, it's been like a year. But when they're in the museum and he's got Zod and like the full Nelson or whatever, and he's heat visioning that family, right? And he's about to kill him. He's like, no, don't do it, don't do it. And that's when he decides, all right, this is where I draw the line. And he freaking kills him, right? That's like a family of 4. 4 freaking people that are about to die, right? And that's where you draw the line. Is like, no, we can't do that. You just allowed thousands of people die while you fly through buildings.
all right, you know I'm not the biggest fan of the movie.
You're going to defend this, though?
I will defend, because I used to hate this part a lot. I still do.
I love the scene. I think it's...
But I think the thing was, he had those people right in front of him. Mm-hmm. So he was actually going to witness the damage, and he saw the fear, and he was like,
he
this
could
is...
directly do something about it.
And he's like, this is just going to keep happening unless I kill this guy. Mm-hmm. Like, he's like... Because there's 2 options. Like, if I destroy the world engine, then we've got these...
You know what it's called. Nice.
Then I've got this... I've seen the movie like 3 times. He's like, then we've got this guy who's still here.
For whatever reason.
And
I
he's
don't know
more
why
powerful than
they're
anybody
doing
else.
something,
If he can't get the planet he wants, he's going to use his superpowers to
but make people have a bad day.
like just rule the earth. Mm. So that's a thing.
I
so
do think
that's
a
what it was.
great scene. I think it's very
not
well
in the first, not in the
by
first movie.
Henry Cavill. Okay, well, there are so many things in that movie that just are not good for the first movie. It is a terrible movie to A, build a franchise off of, and to B, build a freaking cinematic universe off of.
Because in order to fix all the shit, they're going to have to put so much effort out into it. Plus, they've got 2 other superheroes in the movie. Plus, they've got to flesh out a villain that they showed his logo, but they didn't. They should have had less focus on blowing shit up. More focus on establishing Lex Luthor in some way as a character, not as a villain. Just throw him in a few scenes so you get an idea who he is. Because now in the next one, that's a lot of characters to build up.
Shit. I don't even know what they're doing with Wonder Woman.
Because Wonder Woman, they're going to have to build up a lot. Because people in general don't know anything about her. Batman, everybody knows Batman. You can just have him show up, and people aren't going to question it because they're like, I already get the guy.
Bad filmmaking, though.
Not necessarily.
Necessarily, yes.
I'll show you a movie where no character, not a single one, gets any sort of development.
What movie?
Big Trouble in Little China.
That is a very different kind of thing than...
It's an action movie.
Yeah, but it's not.
But literally, people
You saw
just
Man
show
of
up.
Steel. You saw how sophisticated it's trying to be. They're not just
Yeah.
going to throw a character in there and not explain it.
Trying is the key. It's not sophisticated at all.
That's I
but you know what I'm saying, right?
Phrased that exactly the way I meant it.
They should have focused. It had no focus. It didn't know what it was trying to do, and Kevin Costner sucked in that.
His character was written pretty shitty. I'm not going to say Kevin Costner was shit in it.
Yeah, but he didn't do a good job of. He could have been like, "Wow, this sucks." Let's not make him seem like a dick. But he's like, "Wow, this sucks." Let's make him seem like a dick anyway.
I don't think he seemed like a dick. I mean, yes, he was being a dick, but I don't think Kevin Costner's performance was...
And then it implies that most of Smallville knows who he is. Because,
I mean, people who are close to the Kents have always had an idea that maybe he's...
Most of Smallville... So he died for no reason.
They were, like, on the highway or something.
Because these people... No, because he's like, don't save me.
Yeah.
It would take you a fraction of a second. Plus, he went to save the goddamn dog. Oh. That's number 2 on my list.
What?
He went to go save the goddamn dog. I see this a lot on deliveries. All right? There's this little sticker you put in your door that says, "In case of emergency, save my dogs, cats, other," and you write the number of how many you have. That is the most selfish thing on the face of the earth. Like, think about it. There are people who sometimes, a lot of them volunteer to risk their life to save you because your dumbass set your house on fire. And you're asking them to go back in to the burning wreckage to save your stupid dog.
Yeah.
If your dog's not... The dog should have the easiest time getting out. Because it can climb under things. It can jump higher than you can. They have a sense about that sort of thing. Plus, the smoke goes up. You're supposed to stay close to the ground. You don't get any more close to the ground than a dog. Unless you're like a snake. Isn't that freaking selfish?
In case of emergency, save my snake.
So I delivered to an animal hospital a couple weeks ago. I found them. They give them away for free.
You give away for
so
free signs?
They're encouraging people to pick up this sign saying, "Hey, risk your life for my dumb animal." What a freaking bunch of whores.
Wow.
I don't know how they're whores. I don't know what else to say. But speaking of saving people, you've heard of Mass Effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been slowly playing through the first one, and it's one of those RPG games where you have conversations with people, choose what you say. You know, you can investigate more. You can choose basically. It's like really fleshed out and stuff. And so you get a bunch of party members, and one of them's a chick with a nice ass, whose name I always forget. And then there's this guy named Caden, and he shows up pretty early on in the game. Never used him, because you can also bang the girls.
Ooh.
Or dude. I think you can bang dudes.
Is that the game with the sexy blue chicks?
Yes.
Nice.
I just got her on my team.
Nice.
I'm going to bang that one. Maybe both of them, if I can. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So there's a part where you go on this mission, and they're like, okay, so some of us are going to go this way. We need the other ones to go over here and do this, because we're, like, infiltrating a base. And the one guy's like, well, that's a suicide mission. And then the chick and Caden argue over who you should let. They're like, no, I'll do that part. And I was like, no. It's a suicide mission. I'll do it. So I let Caden go on the suicide mission part. Then, within, I'd say 30 to 45 minutes, there are 2 to 3 more opportunities for me to save this guy. And not, like, there's a part where shit goes wrong, and you can either choose to go back and save the girl, or go to Caden and get the hell out of there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I chose to save the girl. And you have to listen to him. You have to tell him this over the intercom thing. You have to be like, sorry, man, I had to make a choice. And the chick's, like, yelling at you. She's like, don't do it, I'll do it. Let me die. So basically, I'm a dick.
He saved the girl.
Yeah, but the thing is, he gave me 3 opportunities, Caleb, to not have this guy die. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if there is, but maybe there's a way to save both of them.
Maybe.
I don't know. I've never heard of anybody doing that, but... So, yeah. And it's not even like... I didn't even have any second thoughts about it. Like, it tells me a lot about things. Like, that game makes me realize I'm kind of an asshole sometimes. Or at least I have the potential to be.
That's a fact, yeah.
We were talking about X-Men earlier.
Yeah. It's something I really wanted to bring up. I don't really know where I'm going with it, but you heard about Bryan Singer, right?
Yes.
Bryan Singer, for those of you who don't know, he's the director of the first 2 X-Men movies and the new X-Men movie that's coming out. He's being sued for allegedly, like, raping a 17-year-old kid in 1999.
By drugging him and...
Yeah, he drugged him and made him drink a bunch of alcohols.
Allegedly. I don't think he did it.
Allegedly. He's being accused of this. There's no proof, I don't believe, yet.
No, there's none.
But, yeah, he allegedly...
In fact, just calm down.
Kid.
I haven't seen anything about it.
I
think it was made up. I think that this kid... he must have known him for it to actually...
You think they'll get any money out of this?
Make it anywhere. I doubt it. But I think they were like, hey, look, this guy's got a movie coming out. I'll accuse him. Oh, and he's gay. So let's accuse him of touching me when I was a little boy. We can get some media attention and a little bit of money out of it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
If it does turn out to have any merit to it, I'm going to be kind of sad because I like Bryan Singer.
Well,
I
it
like
was
the X-Men movies.
Wasn't it like 15 years ago?
1999, yeah.
Yeah.
He
would have been young then. He's not very old, Bryan Singer.
Yeah.
How old is he? Like maybe 40?
Well, I think he's getting up there.
I don't know how old he is.
He allegedly took this kid to Hawaii with him, shared a hotel room with him, gave him a bunch of drugs, and then raped him in the pool. Allegedly. I said that word a lot, but just putting that out there.
I don't think he did. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody say anything bad about Bryan Singer.
Yeah,
except
I've seen
this
him
kid.
in a bunch of interviews, special features on DVDs and stuff, commentaries, and he seems like a decent dude, so.
Yeah. So I have no clue what's going on with that.
Just news.
We watched a movie today.
We did.
What was it, Caleb?
The World's End.
How was it?
If you haven't seen The World's End yet, I don't know what you're doing right now. That's so important. Just turn off this podcast. Just go watch The World's End because it's real dope.
It's real good.
It's real good.
It's freaking funny.
Yeah.
God, you had no clue what you were getting into either.
I didn't. I had never seen a trailer or anything for that movie.
Yeah.
I knew it existed. I had no idea what it was.
It's dope.
Yeah.
We need to watch Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I've seen most of those. I've never seen them from start to finish.
Well, now you know what you're getting yourself into. They're all very similar. I mean, they're part of a trilogy.
Yeah, in a sense.
It's called the Three Flavors of Cornetto trilogy.
I've seen bits and pieces of Shaun of the Dead, and we had a DVD copy of Hot Fuzz, and I watched it, and I got up almost to the end, and then just stopped working. So that was all I saw of Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, so each movie has its own flavor of ice cream related to it. All right, first one, strawberry, red, like blood. It's a zombie movie.
How long did it take you to come up with this?
Second one is vanilla, which is blue, cops. Third, did you notice the color of that one? It was mint, your favorite. Green, little green men.
But they were filled with blue stuff.
Doesn't matter. They already used blue.
Did you?
They only did blue for the color of the movie because once
is this a real thing?
Yeah, once the aliens pop up, which it's not really that much of a spoiler. I mean, there were trailers. They didn't play them a lot, but it showed that there were robot aliens. Anyway, but I think the reason they did because they already had 2 really bloody movies, so I think they went blue because did you notice once it kicked into whatchamacallit, the alien stuff, the movie turned more of an orangish color. Like, all the lights were kind of orange tinted and everybody... Yeah, so they put blue because it contrasts with the...
Yeah.
That's a big thing in movies. Michael Bay does it a lot.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was good, eh?
It was real good.
There's a lot of things that are... They missed an opportunity because there's an ongoing thing in Shaun of the Dead where somebody looks at him and he's got blood. They're like, you got red on you? It starts off with his pen bursts in his pocket.
Yeah.
People see it and they're like, hey, you got red on you. They could have been like, hey, you got blue on you. But the part where he jumps up onto the fence...
Yeah, it falls.
And falls down. That's an ongoing thing where it's the joke in the first two is he's like, what, you never taken a shortcut before?
Yeah.
So he jumps over the fence, and then in the second one he jumps over the several of the fences, and then Nick Frost, the fat one, tries to, and he just like he doesn't even get off the ground. He tries to jump, but he's fat, so he just falls right into the fence. Yeah, so we'll need to watch those. It's hard to find Hot Fuzz. I can find it in a 2-pack, but I already have Shaun of the Dead somewhere.
Oh, well, I don't know. Just get it.
Fine. Might as well. Hot Fuzz is good.
Yeah.
That one's underrated. Not a lot of people have seen that. Everybody's seen Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Nobody's seen the last two. That's freaking good. Oh, God. Here we go. I put a star next to this one because it's time sensitive. We're going to talk about one of the tough issues. You hear about the movie Heaven is for Real?
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to talk about religion. We're just going to talk about a lack of basic human intellect and how I think movies are going downhill.
Yeah.
First of all, we'll just discuss it's based on a book. It's a bestseller about a kid who, now I'm putting air quotes around this, died during an operation. The doctors both say this kid never died. The operation he had went smoothly. But
so he had a dream.
The story that his parents say is that he died on the table for a few minutes. Not even a few minutes, just seconds. And then in the months afterwards, he started saying things that he shouldn't have known, saying he was in heaven and he saw Jesus and all this stuff. People believe this.
So a little kid has a dream while he's under the influence of anesthesia and all that crap.
Yeah.
And people take it as...
Well, I don't even think he had a dream. I think he was just talking. And the best... You can watch... Jeremy Johns did a review of it. You need to watch it.
I started to watch it.
Because there's a part where he's like... The dad who wrote the book and the dad in the movie both say... as if this is an intelligent thing to say. He's 4 years old. He has no reason to lie. And Jeremy Johns is like... Because he's a 4-year-old. That's what they do.
Wait, is that a thing that they say in the movie?
Yeah, and in the book. 4 years old. He has no reason to lie. And then there's a scene in the movie, from what I understand, and it's in the book, where he starts talking about his dead grandfather, who he never met. And they keep saying this. They keep saying, we've never told him about this stuff. But how many times did you say something when you were a kid, and like your parents are just like, oh, what? Where'd you hear that? And then it turns out you just heard it from them when they didn't think you were listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like a stillborn baby, like a sibling that he had. He knew about that. We never told him that. Yeah, he heard you talking about it. And then Jeremy Johns has another point where it's like, there's a scene in the book where he's like, he says he saw his grandfather. So he shows him pictures of, like, old-timey pictures of people who would be, like, ancient now. Mm-hmm. And he shows him one, and he's like, is this him? He's like, no. He's like, okay, is this him? No. He's like, is this him? Yeah, that's him. And it turned out to be his grandfather from back in the day. Mm-hmm. And he's like, how would he have known that? And Jeremy Jahns is like, well, he knew it because you showed him the pictures. He's like, you show him and ask him if it's that person. He's eventually going to say, yeah. He's like, no, what you needed to do is take 5 random pictures, set them all down at the same time, and say, point to the one that you saw. Because at that point, he wouldn't have gotten it right. Actually, I only think it was 2. It might have even been 1 picture. It was either 1 or 2. It wasn't 3 like I said it was. It was 1 or 2 pictures. And I'm waiting for this kid to come out in a few years and be like, look, man, this never happened. He's a teenager now, and he was on a show recently, and it was going around the internet because it doesn't seem legit. Like, he doesn't... He talks about how he's glad that the book has touched so many people and changed people's lives. But he never says, yeah, this flat out happened. I didn't lie about it at all when I was 4 years old.
What do you know about this other movie, this God's Not Dead?
No, we're not going to talk about it.
We're not going to?
It's so bad. It looks so bad. Have you seen the trailer? And I saw people on Facebook who posted the trailer and said, wow, I can't wait to see this.
I've seen nothing about it.
And here's where we go. And then Dad criticized me on my status about this.
Yeah.
Where I said that they need to stop making these.
You haven't seen them or whatnot.
Do I have... Caleb, do I have to see those and know they're terrible?
No, they always give me crap when I give merit to reviews online. They're like, you read somebody who didn't like it. I'm like, okay, I don't just go read a review and decide not to like it. I go look at, like, overviews and the general consensus of movies.
Well, not even that. You just have to watch the trailer. Like, I have never seen a worse trailer in my life. And it's got the Duck Dynasty guy just shoehorned into it. And it's got Kevin Sorbo. Hercules himself is in this goddamn movie. I don't know why you keep
saying that. He's not a good actor. I mean, when you said
I guess I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, see, when you said legitimately good actors on your status, I was just going to link you to that. And put in air quotes whatever.
Have you ever seen Hercules?
No.
It's pretty good.
But
so is Xena. Xena might be better. Nah, Xena's better.
But anyways, I don't want to...
No, but here's my problem. Because, again, we're not talking about religion. We're just talking about things that happen to be based in religion. There's been a lot of movies coming out. There's been Noah, which I've heard is pretty cool.
Noah's cool.
I mean, nobody's like, it's fantastic. But general consensus, from what I've heard, is it's pretty good. So we've had Noah, so that's one good one. God's Not Dead. Looked horrific. It has the lowest review score I've seen in a long time. It's got like a 7. They made a Jesus one recently.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that. That didn't make any...
Oh, it was god-awful.
Impact.
And then Heaven is for Real. 4. And one of them was only good because it was made by somebody who was actually somebody. It was a guy who made
Pie.
And Black Swan.
Yep, Darren Aronofsky. It's a fun name.
I always call him Tchaikovsky.
Darren Aronofsky.
But Tchaikovsky's a composer.
But have you ever had a discussion with a hardcore Christian about Noah? Like the movie Noah?
Oh, they're so stupid. They say that didn't happen or it's inaccurate based on like 3 paragraphs.
Yeah, and I don't want to offend anybody, but I had this discussion pretty recently, and they're like, well, it's not true to the book. I'm like, no shit, it's like a less than 2-page story. Like, you're not going to make a 2.5-hour movie out of that.
Yeah, and everything, and they'll complain about things, but all of it, with the, aside from the animals that don't exist.
I thought that was a cool touch, because, I don't know.
It's not a valid complaint, because creationism is fucking retarded.
Like,
I'll flat out say that. Like, that's fucking retarded. But no. They complain about the part where God tells them to kill a baby. Mm-hmm. And they're like, God would never do that. Yep. Freaking goddamn Isaac. Mm-hmm. Literally. God damned Isaac to be killed by, what's his face? Abraham. Are you kidding me? And then they'll be like, the giant rock monsters. The Nephilim?
Says that there's
Is that right?
giant... I don't know. I don't remember.
I think it's Nephilim. Yeah, they're in the Bible.
It says that there were giants.
Not even that. Well, in the movie, they're giants, and they're also the Nephilim, which are fallen angels that then did it with humans to make those things in the Bible.
Yeah.
So I don't get that. But no, my fear, it's like you can go into a Christian bookstore, which I don't recommend. It's awful. Like, how many copies of the Bible do you need? It's like, I own like 3.
I have at least 2.
Anyway, but there's entire sections of these movies, and they're all horrible. I've seen a few. Mom made us watch that one time.
Yeah, that was a terrible experience. There weren't real actors in it. They were people from some church. Not even real actors.
And then, like, oh god, it's got Kirk Cameron. Kirk Cameron's insane. We're not going to talk about Kirk Cameron.
There's one real actor, and the entirety of the cast, other than him, are people from this church.
Kirk Cameron doesn't count. We're not going to talk about Kirk Cameron, though, because I don't want to get into the actual religion. I just want to get on how bad the movies are. But remember the part where, like, I guess the Kirk Cameron... First of all, the movie's extremely... I've never seen a movie that hates women more. But where was I going? Oh, yeah. There's a part where he's like... I guess he has, like, a porn problem.
Yeah.
And the wife finds out and freaks out.
They never, ever come flat out and say it, though.
Yeah. And he destroys his goddamn computer.
Yeah.
He needs that thing. Or it's like if you have HBO,
right?
All right, and you turn it on too late at night and you see some boobies, and you're like, "Oh God, I got to go take my TV out and beat it with a baseball bat."
Yeah.
But no, also I have a problem with that because, what is it with? I've heard several women. It's generally not girls anymore.
Right.
Complain about the porn thing as if it's cheating.
I could go on about this for days, but
it's
I'm not going to get into this.
So stupid. Like, why?
Yeah.
It's not worth getting mad over, I don't think. It's freaking stupid.
Really
it's just a thing that's out there.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then they can go out and read goddamn, what's that porn book?
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
It's like women are like, "Oh, we're too classy to watch porn, and porn's not good. You can't do that." But they will read the shit out of it.
It's worse than anything. It's the most hardcore thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It makes Game of Thrones look like I don't know, Sesame Street.
Yeah, I've never read it, but from what I understand, pretty hardcore.
But no, my fear is there's 4 in the past few months that have come out. Religious movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's a trend.
Yeah.
It needs to stop. Because my problem is, it's not a problem with religion at all. Like, I'm sure it's entirely possible to make a good religious movie. In fact, you ever seen 10 Commandments?
Yeah.
It's freaking good.
There should be more of them like Noah, where you take a story from the Bible and you turn it into like a badass movie. Not a movie that's trying to shove religion down my throat.
Cain and Abel.
That'd be cool.
They can have it where it's like sort of a happy movie, and then like it's slowly. I think it's. Does Cain kill Abel? Yes.
Yes.
Cain like slowly starts to lose his mind.
Yeah. That'd be a cool movie.
That'd be dope.
I'd watch that movie.
That'd be dope. Yeah.
Yep.
And it. Ooh. Yeah.
And like when I say these things, people like they act like I'm like bashing religion or something. No, just don't make shitty movies about it.
It's like that movie sucks. It's like, well, you just. It's like, no, it's a bad movie. But like, so I'm entirely. I'm sure it's possible to make a good one. Like, and I know it is because like 10 Commandments was pretty cool. So, you can do it. Passion of the Christ is a well-made movie. I think it's stupid. It's torture porn. Mm-hmm. That's another. Okay, so Noah does that.
Noah's not like
they get criticized for. I mean, the taking something like this long and making it into a movie, and they're like, "Hey, that didn't happen in the book. But
Yeah, well, because freaking nothing happened in the book.
Mel
a guy
Gibson
built
does
a
it.
boat, and there was a flood.
do you know how long the crucifixion is in the Bible?
Short?
It's shorter than the Noah thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so freaking short, and they drag it on and on and on, and I don't just don't like the whole freaking out. People cried during it too. I don't understand that. Like,
It's your Lord and Savior, man.
no, but I watched it and I was like, I mean, it's
Was he played by a white guy in that?
no. Wait, I want to say no.
Makes me a little bit angry when they cast him as a white dude.
No, I think it was white, actually. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a long time. But it's just like... whatever. But basically, stop making them.
Yeah, I feel like
Please.
maybe we're getting into some subjects that people might...
Unless we get, like... Christopher Nolan should make one.
That'd be cool.
Like, get... or Spielberg.
I'd watch that.
Has he ever done one? Last Crusade.
Yeah, that's a religious movie, kind of.
Yeah. I'm going to cut most of that stuff out. I'm just going to pick and choose the good parts.
Are you really?
Yeah, I don't want to offend people.
Yeah.
Our numbers are going down anyway. Because people won't goddamn share this thing.
Maybe I ought to start going around school and telling people, hey, go watch this. Go listen to this.
I don't understand. It's not that hard. It's really not. Alright. I got one last thing before we wrap this up. Remember I was talking about the erotic fan fiction theater?
Right.
I think we'll do that after summer.
Really?
Yeah. But I found a good first one, Caleb.
You found one?
It's called Incubus. You know what an incubus is?
No.
You know what a succubus is?
Maybe... No.
Okay. Succubus is a sex demon.
Oh, okay.
A woman sex demon.
Nice.
Incubus, man version.
Ah.
It's called Incubus. It's a Harry Potter fan fiction.
Oof.
And I forgot to pull it up, but I'll post the tagline on the
Wonder how
Facebook
many
page.
wand puns there are in it.
I don't know. But, I mean, the thing is really, really long. It's like 7,000 words, and it's 2 chapters. It's not finished yet.
Oh, God.
So, I think we should do this one first.
Okay.
Maybe not the whole thing, because it's really long. And I mean, that's only 2 chapters of it. But it says something about, like, how can Harry make it through this year at Hogwarts when he has to have sex once a day to survive?
Oh, my God. That's awful.
And on the fanfiction website, it's got like a 5-star rating. And you read the comics and comments, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is the best thing ever." So apparently, it's really well written and it's really detailed.
That's ridiculous.
And it's Harry Potter going around Hogwarts, and he has to bang once a day. So I think we're gonna go with that one. That one, either that or we can start off with My Immortal, the ultimate Harry Potter. ? Fanvision. Because it's barely Harry Potter. It's fantastic. I mean, it has some characters, some locations, I guess. And, did I tell you about the bullshit complaint we got at Pizza Hut last week?
No.
Okay, this is legitimately going to be the last thing. So we get a complaint. Somebody calls in because their order was wrong. They ordered 3 personal pans. Have you seen them? They're like this big. It's like only a couple inches across.
Right.
4 little slices. The ones they have at your school.
Yes, yeah.
Ordered 3 of those. We were out of those. So we gave them the rectangular pans, which are mediums.
Mm-hmm.
They're like that.
But did you charge them?
No.
Okay.
This person called to complain
That they got more than they paid for.
because they had too much pizza. They're like, these are too big to put in my kid's lunchbox.
Freaking cut part of it off.
And I heard one of the managers talking to them on the phone. They're just trying to understand what this woman was talking about. And it maybe when you get older maybe this is just me, but I think everybody should think this. Mothers and parents in general are the worst. I don't mean like my parents or your parents, which are the same parents. Not our parents. I'm not even saying your parents to the listeners. Your parents probably are fine. But I mean, as a whole, parents are the worst people on the earth. Because mostly mothers. Mothers suck. Because, especially if you work in food service, Caleb, you'll understand this. But mothers, they're the ones who put that thing on their door saying, "Come back in, risk your life for my chihuahua." Or
it's like they always think they're doing the right thing for whoever.
You'll see this a lot when you drive. I don't know if you've noticed it, but the parents that put those little, it's like a plastic like stick person holding a sign saying like "slow children."
Right.
It's like people have to like scream at you, be like, "I've got kids."
Yeah.
"I've got kids." It's like, congratulations. You know, doing the thing that everybody does.
Yeah.
Or else the whole world would have. Actually, more people now. We've had more kids born in the past like 50 years than all of human history.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we hit 7 billion people on Earth.
Yeah.
A few months ago. But, so you got that. And it's like, what the hell is the point of that stupid sign?
Yeah.
Like, it's easier to see a kid running around because they're moving than it is to see a little sign that's like 2 feet tall. And then, like, the sign that you stick on your windshield says "baby on board."
Yeah.
It's like, if I get hammered, just completely wasted,
That's
and I decide to... I don't drink and drive. But if I did, and I got into a car, and I was going to, plow through an intersection full speed, plow into somebody and kill them, it's like suddenly, it's like everything goes into slow motion, and I see it's like
see that sign and
"baby
you
on board," and I just like, oh snap, I should probably sober up like that and not hit this person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. It's just like people bragging because, I don't know, it's just, we get it, you have kids, you're not special. It doesn't give you the right to be a dick. And like, I've gotten stiffed by people, and they're just like, sorry, I usually tip, but I've got like 3 kids. Okay.
What? Like, who even cares?
I mean, you could afford to pay, $50 for pizza.
You can tip me.
But you can't tip me because you got 3 kids that you got to take care of. But yeah, if a person comes in and throws a fit, bitches about something stupid, gives us a bunch of shit, you can guarantee they're a parent. Which is weird because it's something like, I know very young people who have kids,
right,
who don't act like this. It's the older parents.
Yeah.
So
have kids when you're young.
There's something weird. There's something like, people like to say that because of the internet and stuff, our generation are a bunch of dicks.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, we're better. We don't. Online, we feel entitled and stuff like that. We got a lot of hipsters going around who are entitled, but the average person of our age isn't. Like, that's the cool thing.
Right.
But parents who are like 30, 40, god damn it. Like, they think that having kids gives them special treatment. Like, I need my money back because you gave me more than I asked for. I got something better from you. And because I've got kids and I can't just take a couple slices of pizza, put them in a Tupperware, and put that in the lunchbox, I need my money back.
That's some horse shit.
Isn't it? Or I have to put a sign out in the middle of the road that I don't legally have to follow. It's not stopping anything. Anybody who's going to come plowing through your street and run your kid over is going to do it regardless of whether or not you have a freaking little plastic sign. Or the baby on board bullshit.
Yeah.
Or those stupid stick figure families they put on the back.
I hate those things. I don't know why I hate the stick figure families so much, but they're on every freaking minivan. I'm so sick of that shit.
It's because people think they have to advertise that they got kids.
It's freaking bizarre.
So, I'll probably have kids before you, because I'm older.
Probably, yeah.
Not because you're forever... Oh, I mean, I'm forever alone.
Yeah, I'm more forever alone than you are.
I mean, we're talking to each other on a freaking podcast.
Yeah.
About Spider-Man and how there's a lot of shitty religious movies coming out, and that's bad because people are going to spend money on that instead of going to see good movies.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you see me if I turn into that person, I want you to kill me.
Okay. I mean, I won't, but sure.
No, I want you to.
Well, I won't, so...
I write it in my will. I'll be like, Caleb has the right to kill me. I will not press charges from the grave.
It'll be in your will that once you're dead, I have the right to kill you?
No,
Or if I kill you, your will say, don't worry, guys, I told him to.
If I die with rope marks... Well, not even rope marks, just like, those...
Yeah, just be like, it was Caleb, but just don't even worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not pressing charges from beyond the grave. It's fine, because everything you have to press charges about, but, like, murder, no. Because they're dead.
Someone's going to press charges.
So if I specifically say, do not press charges against Caleb Berman.
Murder's murder. I mean...
Like, I'll have two wills. One, if it appears to be murder. One, if not. And I said, if you're reading this will, that means Caleb killed me. It's cool. It just means that I set up a yield for my children sign in my front yard.
Your kids would hate me. That'd be awful.
No, they'd be like, oh, thank God my dad's dead.
They would not. No kid would be like that.
Okay, we got weird parents.
Yeah?
They don't even do that.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't even do the freaking... Luckily, I don't really know any parents who do that kind of shit. But they're everywhere.
Mom is a little bit like that, but not...
She has her other quirks.
Not too much. She definitely has her quirks, but she's not...
But she's not an annoying parent. She doesn't go around flaunting that she's got kids.
Right.
And think that she deserves special treatment because of it. And, Dad give a shit. He's just pretty chill most of the time anyway.
Yeah,
so.
That's what I like about him. He's not freaking annoying about it.
Like I said, it's mostly the moms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, I don't get the... Going off on a tangent here, though.
All right, yeah.
But basically,
I'm tired, so.
basically, lady came in, got more food than she wanted. Complained because of that. Because she felt entitled to having exactly what she wanted and expected her money back. So we are all... Okay, so basically, she orders 3 personal pans. We give her medium pans. We lose a little bit of money. Mm-hmm. Then, if we give her back the money, we then lose a lot of money. So she felt that she was entitled to that just because...
Did you tell them no?
I think so, I don't remember.
If you freaking refunded that bitch and let her keep the pizzas, I would be...
Well, here's how it works. The customer's always right unless they're really, really wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like they always say the customer's always right, but it needs to have a little thing next to it that says, unless they're really, really wrong. Because we had somebody come in that said they deserved a discount because they ordered a lot of pizzas. They ordered like 5. That's not enough for a discount. So that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at that point, that customer's wrong. They're like, I should have that. But yeah, I never thought I would be in a situation where somebody would complain about having too much.
People will complain about anything.
A lot of people
just love to fucking complain.
Yeah. I actually had that written down as a thing, but we'll get to that next week. Let me put this.
I hate when people complain. Complaining pisses me off.
It's hip to complain.
See, it's funny because I'm complaining about people complaining. So,
yeah. But yeah, I have written down for next week hip diseases and hip to complain. Like, there's certain things that people think it's cool, like certain diseases that people think it's cool to have nowadays.
What?
That they don't actually have. And then people think it's okay to, like, it's cool to be offended now. So we'll talk about that next week. But until then, It's been Zach Berman.
Oh, Caleb Berman.
Two Geeks.
Too Furious.